I don't know. It was a very weird deal.
Devin, you know obviously what the quarterback world is like now. We've all been doing. You just got here. It's a tough question to answer. You know this, but just in your mind, your heart, how committed are you to being here through the ups and downs?
Oh, I'm here through and through. Never even thought about transferring. Like that'll never come to my mind.
What stands out about Caden Curry? You've been around him a little bit. What jumps out at you about him?
You know, when you think of a D lineman, I feel like you think of some big old dude that just gets after it. But he's not the biggest guy, but he just gets after it. He really does, and he's proved it at the All-American game. I mean, he was getting after guys, getting after big old dudes that are going and playing the SEC and stuff, and he really proved himself. And me and him are actually really close. Our rooms are right by each other, and we're in the same classes and stuff. That's why I love that guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say there was a buzz about him, right? I mean, as that week went along, right?
Yep.
I mean,
there really was.
What was the buzz?
Nobody really expected it, to be honest. Yeah. Everybody kind of thought, oh, just a little white kid, like he's not gonna be able to do anything, and he got after the guys.
Yeah. Hey, Devin, one other thing. You're sitting here right now. You're sitting there at Ohio State. What do you think, just from a throwing the ball standpoint? What is that? Just that one throw. If you could watch a guy make that throw, that tells you whether he's ready, he can take that next step to the big time and stuff. What is that one throw that you knew when you finally got it down that this could take you places? You understand what I'm saying there?
Yeah.
An over the top kind of thing. Deep out. What is that throw that separates
honestly,
the good from the elite, the number one player in the country, I guess?
It could be an out, to be honest, like a 10-yard speed out or something like that. I mean, when you got guys that can really move, I mean, you got to get it out on time, quick, and it's got to be at the right spot where a corner can't undercut it or anything. But honestly, you can tell from like one throw. It doesn't even matter what throw it is. Like coaches, when I was getting recruited, like coaches could tell if I was the guy or not just off of one throw.
Yeah.
You know, I've had schools come out and watch me throw one quick slant, and then the next day, like I've already been offered. I don't know. I don't know how people can see it, but they can just kind of tell off of one throw.
How big are you, and how big do you want to get?
Right now I'm 6'3", and I weighed 196 this morning. They want me to be 210 by spring game.
That
why you got the muscle milk down there?
Yeah, muscle milk down here. There you go.
Yeah, how are you going to do that? I mean,
this is Raising Cane's around the corner.
see you there. Good luck getting through the drive-thru.
Yeah, it's pretty long, but no, we got the food up there, and they're giving us all the meals we can have, and I've been taking to-go containers, and right after class getting like 6 meals in a day. So it's like another workout, to be honest.
Enjoy it.
Pounding down the food. So
you like 9-hour drive from your hometown to USC? Is that what it roughly would have been?
From Utah, yeah. From where my parents are in Arizona, where my whole family is in Arizona, it's like a 6-hour drive.
Okay. So when you committed to USC, did that feel, for lack of a better word, like a hometown school, like a local? And the question I'm asking is then, when Ohio State comes in, Ohio State's, not down the road. You got to fly here, right? I'm just trying to figure out your thought process of, did you think maybe I was going to stick closer to home, and then all of a sudden you're not?
Yeah, I mean, distance was never an issue for me, to be honest.
Okay.
To be honest, I wouldn't want to live where USC is at. I mean, that's a pretty rough area outside of campus. Like, I would not want to live there.
Okay.
And it was strictly football. And so when I kind of was exploring other options, it really wasn't a big deal. But actually, there's a direct flight straight from where my parents live to here, and it's like 3 hours, so it's not a big deal at all.
So when the Ohio State idea, you didn't have to like get over a hump of like, you just want to go where the best football fit. You would have gone anywhere in the country where you felt like I fit football-wise here?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Devin, in your incoming class, a guy like Burton, everybody talks about Texas wide receivers and whatnot. What are your impressions of him, and just how excited are you to get to play alongside him?
Yeah, when we got out the first, what was that? We got out like the third day we were here. Me, him, and Keon were the only ones really throwing. We had a couple of DBs going after him too, but he's just so like electric, and he's just, I don't know, he just kind of jumps for the ball. He's just has a big frame and like catch radius, to be honest. I mean, I did not expect him. He's so just smooth, and I don't know, he's just so twitchy.
So you say electric, is that more of his football skills? What's he like kind of off the field as well?
He's a good dude. He's just kind of chill and relaxed, just kind of doesn't say much, just kind of hangs out, but he's a good dude.
Who are your favorite quarterbacks to watch? I love the way that guy plays.
I would definitely say Joe Burrow for sure. I think he just carries a moxie and a mentality about him that definitely anybody can admire. But on the field, he's just kind of a dude, really, and just kind of has that swag about him. But I think there's a lot of guys. I really don't have one favorite guy in the NFL, and you just kind of want to match your game after all of them because all of them are doing great things, and they're all in the NFL.
It's funny you say Burrow, I mean, just talking to you, he kind of had that presence.
Mhm.
I mean, how important is that for you as a quarterback and obviously to be a leader as a quarterback to kind of exude that kind of confidence? Do you see yourself with little Joe Burrow in you?
Definitely, you have to have it. You have to have that mentality and just kind of way about you. Even this year, you know, at first I was maybe like a little timid at the beginning of the season. You know, in Utah I was on my own, things like that. But towards the end of the season, like in the state game and the semifinals games, just kind of starting to feel it more and like, you know, talking trash a little bit. Like when I make a good play, I'm like hyped up, hyping guys up, and that really just kind of builds an energy around your team. And guys really won't get after it unless you're getting after it. It's just, you got to show your team that you're really about it.
Did having to be in a new environment like that really help with that? Now that you're basically gonna have to do it again.
100%. Yeah, it made it 10 times easier. Like it really doesn't even feel like I moved away again. It just felt like I was already moved away.
Is that swagger and mentality? Do you see that in this quarterback room right now? Like that you're in, like through the guys that you're with? Or?
You know, it's hard because we really haven't had quarterback meetings yet, and we really haven't had a full team workout or anything like that.
Devin, obviously, you just mentioned the guys in the NFL. Is that a big reason why you're here at Ohio State, because you believe Ryan Day can help you get to the NFL?
Definitely, that's the end goal for sure.
What is it about maybe Ohio State that stood out from other schools in terms of their ability to get you to the NFL?
Like I said, the attention to detail. You know, they showed me a couple clips too after showing me that binder and everything, and just of how I can't even put it into words of how really they like put so much into it, and I could just tell that like, yeah, these guys develop people. This is why they're really going places. Like I don't know, it's hard to explain.
Yeah, you were a late addition to the class. You didn't really get to recruit for Ohio State very much. Now you're coming into a quarterback room that has an established starter. When do you try to start to show a little bit of those leadership skills that you like to think that you have? And do you try to do that right away, or do you kind of ease into it?
Right away. You got to show it out here. Like we're conditioning every morning before we work out and everything. You got to show it. You got to show you're getting after it. You got to show you're really putting in the work. Like we wear the zebra thing, and it shows your scores and your effort, your speed, and everything like that. And if you're really up there, I mean, it definitely helps. Like you got to show that you're really, really getting after it.
There's kind of been a reputation that Ohio State quarterbacks don't do well in the NFL. Is there motivation in trying to be one of the people to change that?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, without a doubt.
You consider Joe Burrow an Ohio State quarterback?
I do. And, like I said, he's mentioned it too, that he wouldn't be where he's at without being here.
Yeah. Did you find yourself rooting for him the last couple of weeks? I mean,
Definitely.
when you're watching those games, and you talk about what stood out about him, but just the tenaciousness of sticking with it, running when he had to, etc. How does the quarterback kind of develop that feel, do you think, Devin? I mean, a lot of people here were on CJ all year for not running very much.
Yeah, that was a big thing on me too. I had negative rushing yards like my first 2 years of playing varsity, and then I really didn't run the ball till this year. I never did. Kind of didn't have a backup or anything like that in Arizona, but so that was kind of a deal. But
yeah,
it just kind of comes naturally, to be honest. I think too many guys try to think about throwing, I got to get out, or being scared or anything like that, but it just got to come natural, and you just got to know you got to put your team in right spots at the right time, and if something's not there, don't force anything, just pick it up with your legs.
Going back to that binder though, when do you think you will feel, through all the stuff you've got to learn about this offense, how long do you think it'll take you to feel simple? You know what I mean? That things are just clicking. I mean, I know you haven't been through it yet, so it's kind of hard to say, but I mean,
right.
Is that a lot to disseminate?
It's definitely a lot. I think the biggest thing though is just knowing the terminology and being able to communicate what's really going on, because different guys say things differently, and at the end of the day, smash is smash.
Yeah.
It depends on how you call it. And so like I said, it's just how you communicate it. But I mean, the fronts and defensive coverages and blitzes, those are probably the biggest thing for me right now. And then really once you start getting those pass concepts, all of them are really going to be, you've already seen them before.
Devin, on a scale of Ben Roethlisberger to Lamar Jackson, where would you put your running ability?
Definitely not Ben Roethlisberger, but I'd put it somewhere in the middle.
If you win a national championship here, will you smoke a cigar?
Probably. I'll have to get a picture like that. I mean, it can't be the same one, but maybe I need a hat like he wore too. I don't know if you guys saw the hat, what it said on that, but
And one of the few criticisms I've read about your game is that you can be a little bit of a gunslinger.
Yeah.
How valid is that? And I would say, Ryan Day will preach interceptions are.
Yeah.
How valid a criticism is that? And how determined are you to improve on that?
Oh yeah, I mean that's probably the biggest knock on me right now. Like I said, I threw more picks than touchdowns than my first 2 years in Arizona, and so even this year I threw like 14, I think. So I definitely need to turn that down. But I think I just had so much trust especially this year. I just had so much trust in my guys and trust in my receivers, knowing that they were a lot better than a lot of the guys that we played, and I had some really good receivers, 4-star guys on my team, and I just had so much trust in them. Like when it's close or when they're even, I'm like, man, I got to put this up. Like he's gonna give me a chance.
Thank you, Devin.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.